Heck of a game, heck of a start. I thought Coach Woodson's team, Vegas, played a heck of a game as well. They kind of had our number a little bit early, and we had a heck of a second half. Defense came up with huge plays, touchdowns. That was big, of course. I thought The Rock called me there with a couple minutes to go, and he said, if you let them score, that sure would help our TV ratings. So we decided to make it interesting, and that was. And then it's kind of great. You got to see the rules. Why our 1 point was such a factor. When we got the last defensive touchdown, you got to see the 4th and 15 play out, and darn near they converted it. Donald Payne came up with a huge hit to knock the ball loose. So I think you got to see the rules in play really well today. And I think it's positive. I think it creates a lot more interest, a lot more excitement. And I thought our team overall played hard and well. I thought it was pretty clean. There wasn't a lot of bad penalties or procedures. Guys that haven't been full speed in a long time, they really handled it well. So anyway, just glad to be 1-0 and to win here. And hopefully the fans had a great time.
Joe Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. Devontae Bosley's been on 13 teams since 2015. Obviously, big pick six there to really seal it in the second half. I guess is that kind of a player like him and the performance that he has kind of emblematic of kind of what the XFL is all about?
Absolutely. These guys get this platform to show what they can still do, making plays and, covering people for him. And so all of it together, it's a great window of opportunity for these guys to, every scout in the NFL is going to be watching these games and studying them and who's showing up and who isn't. So, that's what it's all about.
Anthony Miller, XFL News Hub. Your defense played really well in the second half. What kind of adjustments did you guys make at halftime? Because for most of the second half, you weren't allowing a first down until that last drive. What adjustments did you guys make?
Well, adjustments are overrated. In a 20-minute college halftime, they're overrated, and in 10 minutes in this league, you're not going to make a whole lot of adjustments. So Coach Hayes covered a couple things with them, but most of the time when you come out in the second half, you just play better. You're not going to develop a new defense or whatever in the second, in a 10-minute halftime, So a lot of times it's just executing better, and and that's generally the case.
Coach Terrence Johnson, the right call on sports. I know you said adjustments doesn't help, but they held you guys scoreless in the second quarter. You guys was able to hold them scoreless in the third quarter, but one of your former players, Jeff Badditt, he was eating pretty good. What adjustments did you really make?
No, Jeff's a really good player. I'm happy for him. He's doing well. I thought overall in the first half we were very poor both sides of the ball on third down. And that hurts you. That led, they had 3 or 4 third down pickups on their first touchdown. We got stopped 3rd and 2 and then 4th and 1. A lot of our 3rd and shorts were really poor. And then we didn't score inside the 1-yard line. So it's short yardage for us hurt us offensively. And then defensively, we just picked it up. It got more pressure in the second half and forced some bad throws. I'm sure some of those throws were off his back foot or people in his face, and he didn't see the coverage that was there a few times.
That's when the big OU DNA kicked in. The OU DNA kicked in.
Jeff's OU DNA? Oh, mine, yeah. I got Renegade DNA now, so I guess both. My other one doesn't ever leave.
Peter Warren, XFL.com. Coach, how was just the environment and energy at the game today?
It seemed great. You kind of lose track of it once you get to playing the game. But, from coming out, the start of the game I thought was awesome. It was great having Danny and Dwayne here and Jerry Cardinale. They bring a lot of excitement. There seemed like there's a lot of fun energy. And, seemed like everybody had a good time from what I could tell.
Hey, Coach. Jimmy Jai, UTA Radio. Was Jordan Smallwood making those type of catches at OU?
Oh yeah, Jordan's was a great player for us. Very consistent, tough, strong player for us, and always made plays. Definitely.
And then on the first pick six that y'all had by Lalole, it was off a screenplay, I remember. They were running a lot of screenplays. Was that something y'all kind of talked about and he picked up on, or was that just him making a great play?
It's both. I mean, we of course practiced that, knew that's part of everybody's plan, and he just, these guys have played a lot of football. He just sniffed it out, he just, smelled the rat and followed the lineman out there, and they threw him the ball. So, again, these guys have a lot of experience, and they pick things up quickly.
Ryan Aber from the Oklahoman.
I recognize you.
How are you, Bob?
I'm great, thank you.
Hey,
How's everything back home?
Not bad at
You
all.
holding down the fort?
Trying to.
All right.
You talked about the atmosphere sort of fading away once you get in the game. For you, how much different is it coaching now versus what you've done for so long, and including some of the rule stuff that you mentioned? Has that become reflexive, or does you still have to?
It's fun, actually. I enjoy all the challenges. I enjoy games. I enjoy being on the field. So I always did. So I don't notice any of that being a whole lot different. But I do find myself on drives. I'm like, all right, we're going to go up 6 plus that is. Do we go for 2? Do we go for 3? I'm processing. As it's going on, and then I had it all in my head, go for 2 or 3 when we were down 14-12, and then we go up 15-14, and they're on the headset. If we drive here, we had already crossed the 50, and I had already had it in my head 2 and 3, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, we've kicked the field goal, so if we score now, we go for 1 to go up 8. So it's it's different than what I've been used to for all those years. So 1 or 2, now it's all right. What are we going to do here? So you saw the going for 1, running it in from the 2, going up 8 points helped us win the game. Now it's harder to go for 2 from the 5, and we sack them and end up with the plus side of it.
Hey, Coach, Matty Fresh, Springball Boulevard.
Matty Fresh.
That's it.
A big time name there. Yeah.
I guess I got to live up to it with the question.
No kidding.
All right. So in 2020,
Matty Fresh.
In 2020, you had Coach Hayes. You had to shake his hand after losing. How is it to have him on your side this time of things?
Well, I didn't mind shaking his hand after he beat me in 20. Jonathan and I are very close. Families love Jonathan, and Chuck's in there with them. We were all in school together, and great guys. And Jonathan was from Pittsburgh. I'm from Youngstown. It's only 45 minutes an hour away. We would drive, so he would come. We'd pick him up, and he and my brother Mike, and George Little, we called him Sput. The 4 of us would drive 10 hours to Iowa. And then whenever we had a break, Jonathan and Sput and my brother Mike, we'd all drive back together. And someone would pick them up in Youngstown, just on the border. So we had so many of those trips over 4 years or however many it was. And then I was a grad assistant after I graduated, and Jonathan was still on the team. So we were still traveling together. And so anyway, point being, that's a lot of time in the car together for a lot of years. And so anyway, it's fun having those guys with me.
What'd you think of Drew Plitt's performance?
I thought Drew played well. I really did. He's a good player. Overall offensively, first half was obvious. Our third downs weren't very good. He'd like to have that one play back, the interception. But other than that, he played a good game. We played a pretty clean game. You didn't, not dropping the ball, not just him, but anyone. Keith had the one shake loose, but we recovered it. But point being, I thought it was a pretty clean game for the first time out there, and for a lot of these guys for a long time. So, and I thought Drew did a nice job.
Collins, BBC Sport. You joked about Dwayne calling you towards the end of the game there. What has it been like having, as a coach, what has it been like having owners that are so involved, so hands-on?
It's been fantastic. Danny's been around a lot, and Dwayne's been here some. Jerry Cardinale, got a chance to visit with him ahead of the game for a good while on the field. Just wonderful people, and you know, the success they've all had speaks for itself. And so it's fun to be associated with them, and you love the passion that they have to continue to build this league. And you know, and if anyone can do it and do it well, it'd be those three.
How is the league different now than to last time around?
I feel overall, first, the obvious part is the ownership's different and new, and I think overall we've got a better pool of players in the league overall. We had a better pool of players to draft from, and I think all teams have, you know, good football players. I think percentage-wise even more than we did the last time. And I think that showed. I mean, Vegas made a lot of nice plays too. So anyhow, I think that part with better players, I think, helps too.
Yeah. With the new owners, how big a factor did that play in you being the only coach that came back this time around?
I'm sorry?
With the new owners being involved, how big a part did that play in you being the only coach that came back this time round?
Oh, I don't know. I guess they like me enough. So I don't know what went into their, you know, but I was approached early. Didn't take me too long. I thought about it for a couple of days and, you know, and agreed that I wanted to do it. I loved it the last time and loving it again this time. Love working with these players at this age, the maturity. They pick the game up so fast. They've all played a lot of football. And there's no babysitting. I don't have to call anybody's parents. I don't have to go to a compliance meeting. I don't have to go to an academic meeting. I don't have them calling me that Johnny didn't go to class, Johnny didn't go to study hall last night, no recruiting meetings. So 51 players instead of 120. It's a little different. So at this point where I'm at, I love it. All right, thank you.